It's Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. Let me turn this off. Beautiful. And action. All right, I think we got ourselves a live stream. So, yours truly, Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. I make sales simple for startup founders and entrepreneurs, helping them hear yes more often, without expensive software or sounding salesy. And so I'm going to do a case study. Um, the word of this year is consistency. So every week, I want to share a little bit about what I'm doing, what's working, what's not working, so that you can get there a little faster and easier than I did. One of the things that I do is nurture campaigns. I don't know if cold outreach is, let me say this carefully, is worth the trouble. I think warm outreach is the update. And so in this conversation, we'll talk about warm outreach, what's the nurture campaign, and a case study for a client I'm working with currently. So one of the things that I struggle with is so many people tell me they're like, "Oh, I don't want to sound salesy. I don't want to sound salesy." And what I realized, I had a great conversation with the entrepreneur. He's been doing this for 40 years. So why do people say that? I was like, what does it mean? And he explained to me that when people are pushy, when you get on a sales call or walk into a business and they just start talking to you and they just start telling you, and they start to your numbers and prices, but they don't listen to you. They don't ask you questions to understand. Um, that's what people think sales is. And that's what they mean when they say they don't want to sound salesy. They don't want to be that guy. And I realized my disconnect was that's not selling. Sales is a service. Sales is exchanging value for compensation. If you're just talking to people, you're just a bully. And that's not what I teach. So while the ultimate goal is to increase revenue, to improve retention, what I discovered is one new skill will change your life. If you work on you, you're working on your business. If you invest in your team, you're investing in your business. And that's what's so beautiful about what I do for anyone at any stage of this journey. Maybe you're not even customer facing. One new skill will change your life. So I focus on things like communication, focus on leadership, focus on discipline, on efficient learning, and of course, sales skills. I believe your personal professional development is our focus with an emphasis on sales skills. So that's what we do, and that's what you can look forward to if you're spending time on this channel. So let me see, let's share screen here. This is a good friend of mine, Dr. Sade Adu, world travel, phenomenal speaker and strategist. She has a conference coming up, so depending on where you watch this, if you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, check it out. Especially if you're a coach, speaker, or course creator. One thing I really love about even the title of the conference, your brand is a big deal. She wants you to stop playing small. She wants you to stop being the best kept secret. And so she built this conference to help you exceed your goals in business, to dream a little bigger. And I really like this because she has some great speakers there, but there are actionable takeaways, things like marketing kit. So when you leave the conference, you have something to take with you. You have something to apply. You have um, some tangibles, right? And I think that's a really beautiful way to run a workshop. So it's not just motivation, but it's execution for your business. So shout out to Dr. Sade. She and I have worked together for about 2 years now. So check this out. She said, Bruce, we gotta get some more people in this conference. How are we going to do that? We pick up the phone and call. And here's the difference between warm calling and cold calling. When I call these people, they know who this is. A lot of times they've met her. She's really good about um, capturing people's contact information from the events, webinars that she hosts. So I'm going to go over here to LinkedIn. So when I call, say, hey, I'm Bruce Hill from Dr. Sade's team, I'll give you my message in just a moment. They're like, oh, yeah, I met her in Houston. There we go. Looks like I need to log in. Give me 1 second here. And so now that's why it's warm. It's someone, even though they weren't expecting your call, people worry about that, right? They're like, oh, what if they're busy? What if it's fine. If they're busy, they won't answer. Um, see all these windows I have open. But because they know who it is, there's a connection already been built. So warm calling and nurture phone campaign leverages the hard work you've already done. We'll talk about cold calling some other time. So, oh, she's updated this. Black Enterprise, Yahoo Finance, Huffington Post. She's been working. I love it, friend. I see you. Let me go in here. So here's what I do for clients. Honestly, you can start from scratch, but if you can build leverage, that's even better. If I can use the momentum you already built, you can get better results. There's our friend Adrienne Simpson. Shout out to Adrienne. So let's take a look here at some of her posts and think of some of the language I said earlier. Are you tired of being the best kept secret in the industry? If you're ready to step into the spotlight, this is your moment. She's talking to a very specific person. And this is two stages of where I support is say, hey, how do we talk to our specific person? That's working on my next book, right? Better questions, better clients. And we're asking ourselves those reflective questions so we can write like this, so we can talk to them specifically. I love this, showing up for yourself, your mission, and the people who need you. I love this. So if you are like, man, I've got the copy, I've got that part down, you're probably like her. You're like, okay, well, how do we nurture these relationships that we have? If you're not here, that's a conversation we can have. There's a flyer again. People shouldn't have to guess what you do. She does a great job about this. You know what she does. If you want to land bigger clients, close higher ticket deals, and elevate how your brand's perceived, the room you're in matters. So you need to get in the room. I'll stop there for a moment, but these are all really good. She's going live, right? Announcing the event. There it is again. Just in case you didn't see it the first time, which with LinkedIn, you might not. There she's again. So she's already built a momentum. So I don't need to write an email campaign for her. I don't need a real social media content. She's phenomenal at that. She doesn't need an extra pair of hands when it comes to picking up the phone and calling these folks that maybe missed this LinkedIn post or not on LinkedIn. They aren't checking our emails often. I know I have 1,500 emails unopened, and I don't even know if that was from last week, right? Just this week. So what I've done is twofold. I've taken a list of phone numbers and we're calling them. Yes, on the phone. And this is so powerful, but not a lot of people are doing it, or they'll automate it, which I think is a missed opportunity for a conversation. So what I did was twofold. So first I wrote a voicemail. I said, hey, this is Bruce Hill from Dr. Side A's team. We're so excited about the big deal conference that's coming up. I want to make sure you got your email invite. Check your email. If you didn't get it, let me know and I'll get it to you. So I need them to go type in big deal conference, right? I need them to go look. I need them to make the decision. Oh, hey, I need to be here. All right, grab a ticket. There's some curiosity there. Like, I don't remember an email. Maybe got lost in the shuffle. Maybe we have this happen. People hit there's a filter on Gmail where you can like bulk unsubscribe, right? We get lost. Whatever the case may be, we need them to read the emails that we're already sending. Right? This works if you're already taking action. This works if you already have a campaign going. It works best if you've been consistent over time, and she has. So that's the first is voicemail. I made 40 calls over the last 2 days. I believe my pickup rate was right around 20 to 25%. Right, so 10 folks answered. Saw the list. Only one or no two were. One was a bad number. One was went to somebody else. So great data quality. That's important when we're reaching out to people. The email's good. The phone number's good. Again, if you need to get there, that's first half. Now executing on the second half, and that's where we're at because she's already doing so many things really well. So that's That's a voicemail. If they don't answer. If they do answer, I wrote a conversation and it evolves. I say, hey, what do you know about the Big Deal Conference? And so we're going to ask an open-ended question. Better questions create better conversations. And they'll say they don't know or don't remember. I say, well, listen, we built this conference to help accelerate folks' goals in their business, right? Or where are you in your business? I'm going to guess because I know Dr. Sade, you're either a speaker, a coach, or combination. And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? Because she does a great job of knowing who she's talking to, right? So, and that's the script. I say, hey, what do you know about the Big Deal Conference? They'll answer. I'll say, okay, well, I know this conference is really for speakers, coaches, or combination. Where do you fall? They're like, oh, I'm both. Wonderful. Talk to me about what you need to succeed, right? So I'll have a conversation. And what's really, really great for this, shout out to my introverts, you shouldn't be doing all the talking. You shouldn't be doing all the talking. We want them to talk. We want them to tell us what they need. And then we'll just make the connection. Hey, that sounds like you need to be in the room. You need to be at the Big Deal Conference. And that's that. So I send an email and then I've got a few to follow up. I say, listen, I'm not going to rush you into the decision. Um, Look at the date, ask some questions. We're going to talk again tomorrow. So I've got my follow-up list uh, divided into two sections. They didn't answer. I need to talk to them. And I talked to them. They need to make a decision. And so then we'll have a more, let's say, deliberate sales call. Say, hey, I want you there. What's it going to take to get you in the room? And this is what I'm working on. These are some of the things that we do. I don't ask me to call your list. This is a friend of mine, so I don't have capacity for that. But if you need to spin up a team, right, a nurture team, a warm outbound team, that I can do. Shout out to Colin White at Blue Gopher. He's got someone making calls, and so I wrote a phone script for them. So he's got someone doing that for him. Because what I'm seeing more and more and more as technology advances, as artificial intelligence becomes easier and easier to use, these conversations are what's going to make your brand different. These conversations that you're having are what's going to set you apart from the rest of the world. And not just relying on one avenue. So we've got the LinkedIn. She's on the other social media platforms. We've got the emails going, and now we're adding calls to it. With those multiple touches, that's where we hope to have success and pack this conference out. So if you're a coach, speaker, course creator, I strongly encourage you to check out the conference. If you can make those dates, be in a room. Let's multiply what you're already doing. If you're getting started, I want you to tap into some of her courses and webinars. And get yourself in a position where you can maximize, right? We want to get you past six figures. If you are an entrepreneur, business owner, says, man, we really need to improve how we communicate with our clients. I'd love to have a conversation with you to say, hey, how can we help? What questions we need to ask for you to have better clients? So my name is Bruce Hill of New Skills, New You. Look for me every week. I'm going to host them live on YouTube. And then I'll do workshops. I'm thinking Sunday. That'll probably be a great day. If you have a link to hop onto the email list, it's in the show notes. Thank you for your presence and participation.